Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a gorgeous day here in Georgia. For those of you who join us, we do a little bit of everything. But today we're talking about my 2023 Tundra again. We've talked about the good. We've talked about the bad. We've talked about the ugly. Today, we hopefully have a solution for the bad, one of the bads, and that is this mini CarPlay by Fahren. We're going to install this in the truck and see if it gets rid of our entire issues that we have. So let's get it. Now, for those of you just joining us, this setup that's in the 2023 Tundra is great. I love the huge real estate screen, but it's had its issues. We've had issues with connectivity all the time. It'll drop connectivity. I'll have to reboot it. For those of you wondering how to reboot the system, you literally just hold down the power button and it'll eventually reset itself back up. I've had to do that numerous times just to get my phone to where it'll connect to the screen. There's been times I've had to do it 4 or 5 times. Now, what Fahren has sent us is actually something that is going to go into the port for the CarPlay, the wired CarPlay portion, but it still makes it wireless. Now, we're going to open this up. Let's see what we actually get with it and see what we can do with it. All right. Now, what we're going to get in this package is basically our CarPlay system that we're going to see right here. We got a couple little books, user manuals. We're also going to get the CarPlay and connector cords. Actually got 2 different ones there. So you have your regular going to the USB, but you're also given a USB-C to USB-C as well. So you have USB-A to USB-C that comes standard. They also give you some handy-dandy little sticky double-sided tape. Now, I'm not going to use this right now. At some point, we will once we figure out where we're actually going to mount this thing. I have an idea, but we're going to test it out for a while, see if it actually works well. All right, so as simple as this thing is to install, it's literally just to get you going is literally plugging into the CarPlay setup. All right, so we've got it plugged in. You're going to see it actually pops up on the left side of the screen. It's actually going to drop down, and it's going to give us a CarPlay here at the top. Now, you've got your safety warnings and all that. I'm going to put no longer display because we don't need that anymore. I'm going to agree and accept. So this is the main screen we have. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take our phone. We're going to go in here, and we're going to go to settings real quick. We'll make sure we're on Bluetooth. We're going to scroll down until we see Smart Box. We're going to hit that, and we're going to pair our phone to this. So now I've given the thing to pair it. I'm going to click pair. And now we are connected for calls and everything else. And we're also going to set up the mobile hotspot so we have internet directly to this. So we're going to go to mobile tethering, mobile hotspot, make sure it's turned on. And then now I'm going to put in my information and we're going to put it on the screen. All right, now we got a Wi-Fi turned on. What you're going to do is click on settings. And when your settings comes up, what you're going to go down to is network and internet. And from there, you're going to click on internet. And this is where you will find your network. So I already have this one hooked up, but if you don't have it hooked up, you'll see the other networks pop up. And if you want to hook it up while you're at home to use its internet, you can. But basically, you're going to click whatever your network is, and then you put in your password, which in this case, since we're using the phone, it'll give you all that information. All right, so setup is a breeze. It really doesn't take long at all. Now, you're wondering how well it actually does. I've had this thing installed for a week now, and I've been really happy with it. It has added a lot more functions, especially to the big real estate that a lot of the new cars have, and especially my Tundra. Now I can use my screen for more than just the typical stuff that you get with a car. As you can probably tell, or maybe not tell, my daughter's seat is right there, car seat in the middle. And now I don't have to put a tablet in here. I don't have to run a cord. I don't have to charge it. None of that because we use the main screen to play videos. And we can do YouTube. We can do Netflix. So here we have our typical startup screen for the Tundra. And you'll tell it still retains all of the original buttons that are on the screen. But what you'll notice is it added this CarPlay button up here in the front. Now, it takes a minute to load up, but here we are in the CarPlay apps portion. Now, this time, it kind of goes through this whole ordeal here until I really open my phone up. And as soon as I open my phone up, it lets it connect in properly. Pair it. Boom. We're done. Takes it a second to go through. But once we go through all that, we can actually go back real quick. And here we have the entire main screen. So like I've showed you before, here's the setting menu. If you need to go in there, if you want to do any Wi-Fi storage, things like that, you can do that. This is the typical CarPlay or the Android Auto screen. You can hit the home button. So you'll notice that there are 4 buttons up here at the top that we have. Now you'll notice also that that button disappears. So what you're going to have is this screen here. Now you can hit this screen. It's going to go back to here. You can hit this. It goes there. But if you want to get to that menu there, all you do is just tap the screen. You'll see that button pop up. You hit that and you have your 4 quick things. And like I said, you hit that, it goes back to whatever your last thing was on the car. Now, the rocket button, what it does is it basically clears anything out that you had running in the background. So if you had YouTube running and then you're going on Netflix and whatever, you can clean it out. It's kind of like going and cleaning out your phone when you have a bunch of screens open. It cleans all that up. Now, of course, this home screen still has the original car. Boom. There's like redundant to record the car portions. The CarPlay, since I have Android Auto, it still works if I click CarPlay or if I go back and click the actual Android Auto, it still goes back to the same thing. Now, the cool thing is I still retain my functions. So I can go over here and use my buttons and say, hey, Google, what time is it?
It's 3:42 p.m.
All right, and it still does all that. If I want to jump to my screen for calling, I can hit my button there, do my calls, hang up from there, still retain that functionality. Now, aside from the Android Auto and stuff, we have the apps of YouTube, Netflix. We can click more, and here we have TikTok. We also have this IPTV, which I've not used anything on. You have video, audio file, and then there's also an update. Here's where you go to if you need to update anything. In this case, all the videos or all the apps are up to date, so I don't need that. This little button here is your basically get around for the whole entire thing. Now, the Bluetooth music and dial don't work if you're using Android Auto or CarPlay. They just tell you that it's going to go to Android Auto functionality. So that's not being used. Now, in YouTube, we can pop this up. Now, just like our phone or our app, here is where we get into basically everything you think of. It's not like something that is locked out where you can only use what you've downloaded. Now, let's just say you don't want to use your internet connection up on your phone, you can download videos and watch them that way. But in this case, this is my home screen for videos. Now, if I want to change to, let's say, a different account, I can click switch accounts and it'll allow me to go in there and pick any account that I have logged in. And, if I want to do a video, I tell you what, let's actually go to a video real quick, and I want to show you. You may say, this thing has got a horrible quality picture. It's fuzzy. It doesn't look great. Probably hard to pick up on the screen. That is because YouTube, not the box. Now, it just switched over. Now it's a great picture. Now, what it is YouTube, just like on your phone, I don't know if you know this or not, or your tablet, it kind of, if you have it set to auto, it picks for the moment. Like if you have good internet connection and stuff, it will go ahead and run the highest setting. But a lot of times, when you get started and start something up, it'll be on a lower quality. Like generally, it'll be on like 360p, which is not a good quality. Gives you a lot more fuzz to the screen. And if you have that issue, just make sure you go in there, click that up there, the little gear that you see right here. You're going to click that, and then you're going to change quality and make sure you click advanced. And if you pick the highest one, if you want to, you don't necessarily need 4K, but you can go to 1080. This video I had it 1080, but everything gets really nicely done. Hard to probably tell. And then of course we go back to our home screen, and we can also have a split screen here with this. Now, I have not been able to, I've not been able to make that bigger or smaller. Not sure that's a functionality that will ever change or not, but you can drag it anywhere you want to on the screen. Now, we can pop up Netflix as well. We can pop up, in this case, we'll have Netflix going. So if you, for some reason, want to watch YouTube and Netflix, you can. If not, you can close out your Netflix or your YouTube right here, or click your X. You're out of that, and here we have our Netflix going. And once again, here you have the same functionality you have with the app. You have all of the recommended stuff. You can still go up here and search for any and everything that you want to and pick whatever you want to. It's really limitless. I have been super happy with this. Now, like I said, my daughter's, she sits in the middle back here in the back. So we're able to turn on YouTube, Netflix, whatever we want for her, whatever she feels like watching, we can turn it on. It's very simple to get around. It takes you a few seconds to learn it, but once you learn it, it's very easy to get around. There's not a whole lot to it. You're able to increase functionality of the screen. I'm able to kill a couple birds with one stone. Not only did I fix my Android Auto problem with it connecting and not connecting, I've not had this thing not connect. Literally, I just turn on the car and hit my pair button, and it's done. Like there's nothing else to do to it. My internet stays on my phone. It automatically goes back into connecting the internet to it, so I'll automatically have an internet hooked up. Yeah, I'm super happy with this thing. It is a very good price. I mean, this is probably one of the cheapest ones you'll find on the market. I'll put a link down in the bottom for you to pick one up. Super happy with it. It's small. The one thing we're going to do here in the future, I have not decided where I'm going to mount this thing at yet, but I've got it just plugged into the normal CarPlay spot. I think I'm going to hide this thing either in the glove box or maybe in the console, and that's going to require us doing a little bit of work on this connector here, which is not going to be a big issue. I just wanted to make sure it works well, and it has done very well over the past week, so I see no reason to not go forward with installing. We'll have another video on that. If you have a 2022 Tundra and up, I'm going to show you how to run the actual cable from there to wherever you want to put it at, how to get into that. So we'll get into that later on. But yes, Fahren has done a very good job with this product, and it's small, it's lightweight, it's simple to use, it's not overly complex, it doesn't have a bunch of crap that you don't need on it. It really has your basic stuff that you need with your Netflix and YouTube added onto there, your TikTok. I don't know what else I would change on it. And it has definitely solved the problem, like I said, with the dang connectivity. That was one of the biggest aggravations with this thing, is every time it would sometimes take 4 to 5 times for me to reset the screen for finally my phone to connect up, or I could be driving and then all of a sudden in the middle of a drive, it'll just disconnect itself and go away. And it was very aggravating. And this has been up to date. This is the latest update that, as far as I know, this screen has the latest update and software on it. So that ain't the problem, but at least Fahren has come up with a solution, very reasonable solution to solve a problem and to give us extra functionality with this real estate. So I'm super happy. Check the link below. We're going to end this video off here. Appreciate you all for joining us. See you on the next one.